Grandma's royal blessings. Princess Leonor cherished with ancestral gifts from Christian's family. A royal gift. A family's blessing. A moment etched in history. But this wasn't just a gift. It was centuries of love, placed directly in Princess Leonor's hands. And the truth, these treasures were never meant to leave Denmark. Yet, Christian's family gave them, to her. Immediate value. The hall was silent. Everyone waited. Her Royal Highness Princess Leonor stood, not as Spain's future queen, but as a young woman about to be embraced by generations she had not yet fully known. On this night, in a private family gathering at Graston Castle, Christian's grandmother stepped forward. Not a queen, not a monarch, but a grandmother, whose eyes carried both history and tenderness. She held a small velvet box. Its corners worn, its weight heavy, not from gold, but from centuries of memory. And she placed it into Leonor's hands. Later in this video, you'll see what was inside this box. But first, you must understand why this moment was unlike anything Spain or Denmark had ever seen. Royal families often guard their heirlooms fiercely. Every jewel, every necklace, every crown. They are not just ornaments, they are the threads of continuity, carrying identity across centuries. And yet, this time, something different happened. Christian's family, one of Europe's oldest dynasties, chose to break tradition. They chose to gift something forward, not inward. Why? Because Leonor was no longer seen as the Spanish princess. She was seen as family. As theirs. Imagine the emotion. A young woman raised under the weight of Spain's crown, suddenly held in the arms of a grandmother who looked at her not as a monarch, but as a granddaughter. The first gift was simple yet profound. A brooch. Silver. Encrusted with blue sapphires. It had belonged to Christian's great-grandmother. Passed quietly down through 3 generations of women. Each had worn it on the day she entered the family through marriage. And now, Leonor. Later in this video, we'll uncover the second gift, a relic tied to a queen whose story was nearly erased from history. But first, picture the reaction in that room. Christian's mother, Princess Mary, leaned forward, eyes glistening. King Frederick exchanged a knowing glance with King Felipe of Spain. 2 royal fathers. 2 kingdoms once divided by borders, now silently joined by a grandmother's hand. Deep history plus emotional weaving. This was not just jewelry. It was story. The brooch told of resilience during war. Of royal women hiding treasures under plain garments, so they would not be seized by occupying forces. The gift told Leonor, you belong not just to Christian. You belong to all of us. To our history. To our survival. And then came the second gift. A diary. Bound in faded leather. Written in Danish and French. The words belong to a queen nearly forgotten outside Denmark, Queen Alexandrine. In its pages were her thoughts during the darkest nights of Europe's past. Her fears. Her faith. Her fierce hope that her family would endure. The diary was placed in Leonor's lap. For the first time in centuries, it had left Denmark's inner vaults. Why give it to Leonor? Because Christian's grandmother said these words. A queen does not only wear a crown. She carries voices. And tonight, we give you ours. Rising intimacy plus family tension. Leonor's eyes filled. She knew this was more than welcome, it was expectation. But what did this mean for Spain? Some whispered that Denmark was placing a claim, binding Leonor more tightly to them than to her own court. Would Madrid accept it? Would the Spanish crown see these gifts as honor, or intrusion? Later in this video, we'll return to Spain's private response. But in that moment, Leonor made her choice. She stood. She kissed her grandmother-in-law's hand. And she said softly in Danish, Tak. Jeg vil bear jer med mig. Thank you. I will carry you with me. The room exhaled. For in that sentence, she became theirs. Cross-kingdom impact. The news of these gifts spread quietly at first. Whispers in noble circles. A private gesture, not yet intended for public eyes. But as often happens with royalty, the walls could not contain it. Soon, Spain learned. And the Spanish court responded with careful words. Her Royal Highness carries not only the weight of Spain's crown, but the love of family across borders. The gesture had transformed politics. No longer 2 families, but one future. And yet, the gifts had also awakened something deeper in Leonor. She was no longer a girl being trained to reign. She was a woman being chosen to carry legacy. The grandmother's blessings were not jewels or diaries alone. They were in spoken words. Be strong when the world doubts you. Be soft when the world hardens you. Be faithful when kingdoms falter. And Leonor listened. She knew. As she held those gifts, sapphires shining under candlelight, leather pages trembling in her hands, she was no longer only Princess Leonor de Bourbon. She was the bridge of 2 dynasties, the promise of 2 nations, and the keeper of voices that refused to be forgotten. In years to come, Spain may crown her queen. Denmark may honor her as their own. But on this night, it was a grandmother who crowned her, not with gold, but with belonging. And that was the greatest gift of all.